Hello everyone, welcome back to the Klarity channel. I am Nanda Klein, and today we're going to be talking about self-knowledge. You know, it breaks my heart to know that there are so many great people out there that don't feel like they're good enough. I think that begins in childhood. In my case, at least, it has a lot to do with the way I was brought up. I never really felt like I was good enough or I would ever grow up to be. And then you become a teenager and it just goes from bad to worse. In my case, I'm 38 years old, and this year, for the very first time, I won first in something in my life. And I got very emotional. I didn't think I could ever be first on anything, and I was. The difference is that for many years I believed what I was told, and in some ways I still believe that I wasn't born to be first at anything. In my family, I was the youngest of 3 children, and not the smartest. To be honest, I wasn't even smart. I didn't feel like I was. It's interesting how the way people label us affects us. I remember my oldest brother. He is extremely smart, and I was very proud to be his sister because it was cool to have a super smart, brother. But then when you were growing up with that, it's like people label, oh, the smart one, and I was just there. I was hanging in there. I wasn't cute, I wasn't smart, so I was there, and I believed for many years I would be just there. But when I began to see that it would be possible to one day accomplish something like being first, I realized that sometimes we need to stop simply believing what we're told. And we are told so many wrong things and lies and things that don't make sense when we're growing up, that we begin to believe it and we carry along our lives. The big change for me was when I moved to the United States. I came here all by myself. So I was pretty much isolated, from everything I knew and everyone I knew. And that gave me the opportunity to spend a lot of time with myself and get to know myself. Of course, at a point I became frustrated, when it came to relationships, because it seemed like, I was never going to be good enough. And a big mistake was to always put, a partner, a boyfriend on a pedestal and feel like, they're so great. What is, this person doing with me? And when I was here, I began to realize I didn't even know what I wanted. I didn't know where I was going. Of course, I knew that I wanted to do an exchange program, that I wanted to go back to Brazil, get a job in Rio de Janeiro, which was my dream. Yes, my dream was to live in Rio de Janeiro. But as far as a partner, I didn't know what I was looking for. And so until then, I was just going for whatever, like, oh yeah, this guy says he likes me, great, yeah, I'm gonna date him. But they don't treat you like they like you. They don't treat like you were worth it. But you come with that mentality from childhood, like, yeah, I'm not that good, I'm never gonna be good enough, so yeah, let me just get stuck with this person here and be grateful. So I realized that I really didn't know what my qualities were. Like, I spent most of my life hearing my bad qualities Yes, I would hear, some compliments, but we tend to push that off because we know we're just so flawed. And it's like, yeah, that person's just trying to be nice. So I realized it was time for me to stop to rely on what other people said and what other people thought about me. It was time for me to sit down and figure out who I was. So I remembered a very good advice my father gave me when I was a teenager, and my boyfriend broke up with me, and I was very sad. And so my father came to me and said, well, you know what you can do? You can sit down, you make a list of the pros of your relationship, and you make a list of the cons of your relationship. So that might help you to ease the pain a little and see that not everything was that awesome. I don't think I did that at that time. But when I was sitting alone on that Saturday morning in front of the computer in a cold winter morning in Louisville, Kentucky, I decided to do that list, but a list about me, a list of my good qualities and a list of my bad qualities. You know what I found out? That I had way more good qualities than bad qualities. And it was time for me to start valuing myself. So here's my advice to you. Get to know who you are, because we can't expect that others are going to value us if we don't value us first. We need to know who we are in order to fall in love with us. And you know what? Forget about that mentality of being picked by somebody. No. If you know that you're good enough, you are going to pick. And you're going to be able to say yes and no. You know, we need just to stop believing that we're not good enough, because we are. And that begins with us. And you know what? Even if we're not that awesome, getting to know ourselves will allow us to improve. And let me tell you, I have a lot to improve, but knowing myself is what allowed me to know that. So if I'm aware of my flaws, it's easier for me to work on them. It's easier for me to say, you know what? I made a mistake and I would like to apologize. We grow from our mistakes. And we also grow from being humble. Because when we learn to love ourselves and to forgive ourselves, things change. And I hope to be talking about that next time. I want to go to self-love, because it's very hard to talk about self-love without having much of a self-knowledge. And think about that. I don't know if you ever watched the Emoji movie, but when I watched that movie, I realized that, you know what, we are not just one emoji, we are many of them. If you didn't watch, the story is about Matt, and he doesn't feel like being mad. He has so many other emotions, and so do we, and it's okay that we're gonna get angry sometimes, frustrated, sad. You know, it's fine. We're entitled to have many feelings and have many moods, as long as we know our core. All right. I hope this video will help you. And if you liked it, please like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next time. Bye bye. Take care. Yay.